Welcome to Squatch-D TV, where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D TV. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
And good evening, cyberspace. Welcome to Squatch-D TV for today's date, June 7th, 2026. I'm your host, your guide, the Squatchdetective Steve Kulls, and filling in for Chris Bennett is our backup co-host with the most, Mr. Brian Wolf from wolfrockradio.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
And it's been an interesting week.
Yes.
Very quiet all week long. And then all of a sudden, for the weekend, boom.
The fit hits the shan.
Yes. And there's other stuff going on, too. Not just this one particular report. There's another very interesting report, apparently coming from, I believe, Idaho, where apparently some teens took a shot at a Bigfoot. And we'll get into that perhaps this week sometime. But, here we are. So how's things with you, Brian?
I'm doing great right now. We're finally. I actually had a run-in with the norovirus, believe it or not.
Yeah, you were saying last week if you didn't remember.
Yeah. I ran into the norovirus, so we got that. But we're all done with that. I finally got my lawn cut, dude. Squatch could hide in my lawn.
Yeah.
I went out there and my lawnmower looked at that lawn and just said no.
So what do you use for a lawnmower? Riding deck, or do you use one of the 360s, or?
Nope, I am a push mower.
Oh my Lord!
I got a quarter acre and I get my steps in. So yeah, but I got to tell you, I've got one of those Ego electric mowers, and no, I didn't get it because of green and all the other BS. But I will tell you, that thing's got torque for days.
Yeah, mine not so much.
Oh, you need a little lawnmower? Because I'll tell you, this thing, I was going through some high grass, just today, and all of a sudden, it goes going bogging down a little bit, and all of a sudden, it found the right gear, and goes, holy crap! Yep.
Well, mine goes well, but it's like I got to use 4 batteries to do the lawn because I have a big lawn.
Yeah.
So I just rather throw $10 at the neighbor who runs it over with his lawn deck. I'm done once a week.
Well,
throw him a $10 bill. See you later.
That's how I get my exercise in. So that's how I keep my svelteness, as everyone can see.
So, well, a couple of quick announcements here. Wrong button. A couple of quick announcements. Again, the biggest way of supporting this channel is buy a book or join the membership, but buy a book. We've come out with 8 books, including the new one, Forensic Witness Interviewing for the Bigfoot and Bigfoot Research. And we're actually doing the class. And tomorrow night we'll have online session. Actually, it's number 3, but really we're going to call it number 2 because I actually have 9 sessions and we gave the first one away for free to everybody here. So we'll be doing session number 2 tomorrow. And, I got to get the book out again and figure it out.
Well, now I got to tell you, if you guys haven't, because I've got some of Steve's books, and I got to tell you, if you have not picked these things up yet, pick them up, man. I mean, if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of understanding the psychology of researching cryptids, even in general, because everything that yes, it's Bigfoot, but just cryptids in general, it gives you this amazing insight as to how a forensic expert looks at these things, evaluates, and categorizes things, and they're fantastic. You got to pick these things up, man.
Well, you'll at least learn how I think. And
that is scary, but
I tend to think logically most of the time.
Yeah.
But
you're a Squatch Vulcan.
Live long and
Squatch on.
Live long and tree knot. So anyway, let's talk about this. Over the weekend, we got a report from this channel exposing Dogman and Bigfoot in Ohio. And they cut a video a couple of days ago about this 14-year-old lad who had a couple of encounters. And on the second encounter, he just so happened to take a snapshot.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we shall see, as they say. But first, let's analyze this whole story. I keep hitting the wrong buttons too. I have a soundboard and I keep hitting the advanced frame on that. But this involves a young lad, a 14-year-old lad by the name of Landon in Columbiana County, Ohio. And we had just talked about that earlier because our infamous backup here comes from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the narrative. I was walking up by my horses because my horses were looking at something and my dad wanted me to check it out. I walked up by the field and the horses were still staring toward it. I started walking past the field to see what they were looking at, and then I saw something. It was just quick dash of brown that went through, and it was super tall. It looked like something giant running through the field. It was kind of brownish red color. Well, I think you said it was brown, but now it's brownish red. Okay, happened. 14-year-old. Okay, I'll give a rate. Hang on a second.
He's talking to his elf.
Yeah, well, he's sitting there looking for my approval to get into his chair. I don't know why he does that. You're crazy, dog. And he's looking at me like he's got an attitude. And he's smiling at me, actually, now. On the second day, it was around the same time, just starting to get dark. My dad had left for work, and he wanted me to go look in the back for footprints. I went back there, and it just came out of the outside of the woods and started crossing over. When I saw it, I ducked behind the hill so I could not see it, and it could not see me. I pulled out my phone, stood up real quick, and took a picture, and then I just ran.
Yeah, he's like a spec ops guy. Hit the ground, roll, pull out the phone, take the pic, and then you go.
Well, it's a 14-year-old kid for crying out loud. But okay, let's just take his story for what it is. It looked like it was just walking across, like it was trying to go somewhere, but it was right out in the middle of the field. After I took the picture, I ran inside and told my mom. So later on in the video, he's describing the first encounter in greater detail, and he said, I was walking up this way, and I saw my horses just staring down towards the top of the pasture. I could see their ears twitching. The bigger horse was looking over there, and the pony kept running back and forth. A little more detail.
Yeah.
I thought they heard something. I heard a few different sounds too. It sounded like brush rattling, like something moving in the woods. Again, more detail. Mm-hmm. I kept walking because I was trying to stay quiet, and I did not want to spook it if it was somebody. I walked on the dirt because the field was not planted, so it was pretty quiet. When I got up to the hill, I started looking along the tree line. Then I got to the corner, looked out, and saw it. The second time, I got right about there, and I saw it. I backed up, pulled out my phone, zoomed in, and took a quick picture and just ran. Now, we're going to revisit that in a little bit. When asked about his Bigfoot beliefs before the encounter, Landon said, I believed in them, but sometimes I had my doubts. Then whenever I saw that, it was like I knew it was real.
I think you need to advance the slide.
No, I don't actually. This is just a cut down narrative.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies.
I'm sorry. You're right. So there's that narrative. I know I get reading this and I don't realize where my slide breaks are.
Sorry.
So there it is. The second time I got out there and I saw it, I backed up, pulled out my phone, zoomed in, took a quick picture, and just ran. And there's a reason why that's highlighted. And we'll explain that in a little bit. So then his mom will get on this. And of course, this is The next slide here is some of what we have for what she says, and I'm going to read her entire statement. Well, I may have the whole entire thing here. Actually, there may actually be more. Oh no, we got it. So her is we have a 10-acre property with woods and fields all around us. We're in rural Ohio, so there's a lot of animals and lots of space. The kids are used to being outside. Landon takes care of his chickens. We have 2 horses and a cow, and the kids do chores around the property. They ride their 4-wheelers and go all the way to the edge of the woods, so he's very familiar with the area. We've had coyotes around, and recently we even had a bobcat come through through the front yard. We also have the unusual wildlife like groundhogs, rabbits, and lots of deer. Well, I've had all the above too. Right. So the first time he came in after checking on the animals, and he told me that horses were staring up at the field at something. He said he had gone up there to investigate because it wasn't normal for them. Now that's kind of bold. That should be in bold too. When he came back, he was working. He was worked up. He told me, "I just saw something really big in the field. I don't know what it was. It was really, really big." So, mind you, there's a little discrepancy because the first time Landon says it happened a couple of days afterwards, and another time he says it happened 3 days afterward. Mom says it happened a couple of days later. His dad suggested he go back and see if there was any footprints or anything from what he had seen. It was around the same time of day, around 6:30 or 6:45. And apparently this happened in either March or April. Mm-hmm. And he walked back towards the woods. He saw something, dropped down, got his phone out, snapped a picture, and ran back to the house. When he got back, he was crying uncontrollably. He was scared. I could tell he was really fearful. He'd never been like that in the woods before. He's been out there his whole life, walking through the woods, riding around, hunting mushrooms, doing all those things. He was just scared to death. It probably took me 45 minutes just to calm him down.
He never has 2 cups at home.
Yeah. Jim never has 2 cups. Nice airplane reference.
Thank you.
So here's the story. Now, does it have holes in it? And I know the audience right now is sitting there going, there may be something to this. Something. So let's advance to the next slide. So let's talk about Landon talking about his second encounter for the first time. When I saw it, it ducked down behind the hill so I could not see it and it could not see me. I pulled my phone out, stood up real quick and took a picture, and then I just ran. However, in his second retelling of the story, he says, I got right to about there and I saw it and I backed up, pulled out my phone, zoomed in, and took a quick picture and just ran. Well, that is really not what he said the first time.
No, because if you duck down behind the hill and you say,
Right.
I got to right about there. Now, define there. Where is there for him?
Well, he's actually walking in the video pointing.
Right, but
Right.
still, the
But-
point is, where is he, you know?
Well, I don't expect a 14-year-old. Now, mind you, this isn't a 10-year-old, although he looks like he's 10 in the video. He's supposedly 14 years old. So he should have some wherewithal. Mm-hmm. But, first we have him hiding. I ducked down. And here he just says, I backed up. Now, this is and regardless if he's 14 or not, you do not use his age as an excuse for not keeping his stories consistent, because that just does not happen.
Right.
Kids are very imprinted on what happens. So, yeah, there is a big discrepancy there.
Right.
That should have screamed. And I'm by no means knocking the people that actually went out there and did the research, and we'll be throwing them a shout out in a little bit. But it's not a knock, because they don't have the interviewing thing like me. That would have flagged me like, what, mm-hmm. Right? So, and there would have been some challenges. So what did you do? Did you back up or did you duck down?
Correct.
And watch that reaction. So there is some definite discrepancy in what he says. let's talk about the other big thing I have. Who actually saw the horses spooked? Landon says, my horses were looking at something and my dad wanted me to check it out. And then Janelle says, the first time he came in after checking on the animals, he told me that the horses were staring at him. Now, that may be just an omission that his father told him. But this is like a month after this had occurred. And you think the mom and dad would talk since he lives there, right?
Right. Well, the other thing is, I mean, what dad? Okay, so apparently there's something.
Hold that thought.
Okay, so
Hold
standing
that
by.
thought. Hold that
standing
thought.
by. Standing by.
So let's look at the emotional reaction. I took a quick picture and just ran. He was crying uncontrollably, scared to death. Took me 45 minutes to calm him down. That does not sound like the same event.
No, not really.
Not at all. Never talks about crying or scared or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, if he was really that scared, he would actually be saying that he was that scared.
Now, there was a lot more to Janelle's interview. But Landon's core story is simple. Horses acting strangely, saw something large, 3 days later saw it again, took a picture, ran. Janelle's story adds this, and this is what we call narrative building in the profession, is the father's observations, the father's instructions, the 45-minute emotional breakdown, father's search, doing the reconstruction, friends helping the search, grandmother hearing wood knocks before, wildlife behaving strangely afterwards, and her own belief transformation. Now, I also, mind you, she said in the interview that Landon's father believed in Bigfoot. Had no doubt. Had no doubt. But Landon was kind of on the fence about it, but he believed, but he wasn't totally sure. And his mother didn't believe at all, but now she's changed.
Yeah, now they're like all on board.
See the narrative building going on. Mm-hmm. That's consistent amongst stories because that's how people and hoaxers, or when hoaxers, you make up stories. That's what they do. They make these things up to go along. Like I'm a changed person now. They build this story 1, 2, 3, and then of course they've got to throw in after the fact all these little other things that have been going on. Oh well, this and that and this and that and that and this.
Well, they're adding color, if you will.
Yeah,
they're adding color to
narrative
the picture.
Building. Yeah, it's narrative building. Making right. But the biggest inconsistency isn't between Landon and his mother. It's between the father's alleged behavior and the rest of the narrative. If we accept the mother's account, that then the father knew something enormous was present. It was bipedal. It was not a deer. It had already frightened Landon. Yet he instructed a 14-year-old to return alone near dusk to go look for evidence by himself.
Exactly. That right there. That bothers me. I mean, like, so what are they going? Oh, well, hey, we got more. We'll send this one up, and if we lose him, well, we got others.
And I know Ohio doesn't have a big bear population,
right?
But they do have bears.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what if it had been a bear?
Right.
Now you're sending your kid to go out to look in the field. There's a bear hanging around that. Not a smart move.
Yeah, that's like parenting of the year.
Right. But after he gets the picture, then the father decides to wrangle up the friends and mosey out into the woods. And like we've said before on this show, when we see the videos of the father and son and the young boy standing there going, oh, look, there's a Bigfoot. Let's take a video of it. And you see this costume figure walking through. Right? It's very clear. It is absolutely startling clear that you should not be there. You should be scared. You should be fearful. This is something not in your wheelhouse. And now you have a small child out there and you have this thing 10, 20, 25, 30 feet away from you in this particular hypothetical scenario. And you're not taking your kid going, let's get out of here. I need to protect my child. Right?
Yeah. I dealt with kids for a long time. I dealt with kids for a long time in like youth ministry and things like that. And I can tell you right now, if any of the 14-year-old kids that I know saw something like that, nothing would be able to catch them because they would be slipping in brown fecal matter as that child ran. They wouldn't be whipping out their cell phone to try and take a picture or anything like that. They would be gone. They would be absolutely gone.
Yep.
So
now, from, like I said, from a behavioral analysis and investigative perspective, this part of the story raises legitimate questions, but it doesn't necessarily prove deception. But it creates a great inconsistency, and to an experienced interviewer like me, raises a ton of red flags, and we should want to investigate further. So we did. So now we're going to take a look at the pictures. It's not very, all right, the story behind it's kind of weak, not foolproof, it's not 100% a doubtful story. Could be people mixing up perceptions, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, but a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Right.
And this picture is worth more than 1,000 words.
Well, a few choice words.
Yeah, but yeah, that is true.
Let's take a look. So I just want to put out the fair use warning out here, notwithstanding provisions of Section 108 of the United States. 106 of the United States copyright law. The fair use of copyrighted work, including such use by reproduction in copies or phone records, in or by any other means specified by that section for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, and teaching, including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarship, or research, is not an infringement of copyright. I did that pretty good.
Yes, you did, sir. Very well done. Well done, you.
But we also want to give credit to the people who did it. That was Exposing the Strange at Exposing the Strange 2023 on YouTube. So this was the picture that was given to us on the YouTube video. And a lot of people think, hey, this is AI.
No.
Well,
it's not good enough for AI.
We have to explore, being an investigator, we have to explore all the possibilities.
Yes.
Right. So the first thing I will say is that, and I didn't get in contact with Dave, and thank you, Dave, for reaching back out to me. I asked Dave if he had gotten the original copy of the photo, not just a copy off of like Instagram Messenger or Facebook Messenger, anything like that, because that will destroy the metadata and the properties on the film, right? You need the raw copy of the thing. No, Roy, it's actually not a floater. Wait till you hear this. This is, yeah, you're in for a treat tonight, folks. So, he gave it an ELA test, and if it was AI, an ELA test would scream out, because AI editions are very much layered and they would scream out. And the ELA tests, according to Exposing the Strange, were not really anything really indicative. And I took a look at what he had posted there, and I kind of concurred. It did not really show anything out of the ordinary. But what we do have is I did expand that so we can see it in 1920 by 1080 mode. So we upscale the picture a little bit. And that's what we have so far. So as you can see, it's not really floating. It's just that this shot is so far back, it kind of looks like it's floating, but it's really not. In fact, one of the more important elements is you actually do see the bottom of what allegedly is the foot with grass in front of it, and you can see the blackness behind the blades of grass. So you can see it's in the grass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that's being stuck in front of the camera, like a little pop-up stick, like that. It's nothing like that.
No.
So then we have the family go out and actually do a little investigation.
Yeah.
To kind of look and see, and they're standing pretty much where it was standing. And take a quick look. It looks
This is great.
A little bit different. And of course, let's take a look. So what I ended up doing was a composite video of the layered pictures. And when you see this, we're going to have no doubt what this is not. Or we're going to have no doubt. Yeah, we're going to have no doubt what this is
what
not.
What it's not.
So let me put this on loop and we can discuss it. And here we go. Yeah. So what we're looking at here is what? Maybe a 15, 16, 17, 18-foot Bigfoot?
Unless that's the ape Titan from Attack on Titan,
That's
it's not real.
Right.
Sorry, anime jokes or anime things there, but yeah, that's virtually impossible because when you take a look, the trees are staying about the same size, so that's fine.
Yeah, the trees. The big point is that there is actually a rock at the very right frame on the.
Yes.
And that is what we used to match everything up with, was that rock.
Okay.
And you can see that rock never moves, nor does the line of the field to the tree line.
Right.
And that was huge in getting that sourced right. And you see a little bit of difference. It looks like movement of trees. That could be shadowing. That could be a little bit of wind. Or, just shifting of the tree in a day, or it could be slightly off by a few. But if you look at the ground is pretty consistent. So we got a really good, accurate rebuild of this.
Exactly.
Look at the lines on the ground. The lines on the ground match up.
Yeah. I mean, it's a perfect match on the ground. The lines on the ground are a perfect match.
Yeah. All the ground lines are perfect matching. Now, I will say this, what you do not see and I will say this, what you do not see in the picture is that this picture obviously was taken at a higher height than that of the original picture. Exactly. And the reason why is because you can see the edge of the brambles in front where the picture allegedly was taken.
Correct.
Is a lot less in the screen, meaning this was taken. So is this thing really that tall? Is it really? Well, I will say this. Even if you duck down and take a picture from a little bit of an upward angle, you're not going to get that much of a pitch like that. For the main reason is so perspective, I think the kid shot straight on from the brambles, straight, shooting straight just at a lower height. And that's what marks the difference, in that it has nothing to do with the angle, because the angles seem to be correct as well. Mm-hmm. Because look at the berm in front of that plane they're on, that also remains consistent as well.
Yeah.
So we have, whittled out any type of angular deception. So I think we're looking at is there a 15-foot Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, if you remember when I was talking about the from Attack on Titan, well, there we go. The ape Titan is 17 meters tall.
There you go. Yeah, that's like 30.
Here.
Yeah, that's like 50 feet tall.
Yeah, so we've got the 50-foot tall Titan.
That would have been a kaiju for crying out loud.
No kidding.
Yes, I'm talking anime. So that was like, when I saw that, I was like, what the? Okay, this is definitely. I'm starting to feel verklempt about this.
Yeah.
So let's pull this out. Okay. So let's look at the enhanced zoom of this. And this is with the cool filter on it. As you can see, what's going on with that front leg?
I figured that out, Steve. I figured that out. He's doing the Humpty.
The Humpty Hump.
He's doing the Humpty dance.
And goodness gracious, it almost looks like a goat man.
No, the left leg is a goat, and the right leg, the right leg, that looks like it's a piece of landing gear.
Yeah, well, mind you, this thing is, going to be about 15 feet tall.
Yeah.
At minimum.
Yeah, but look at the separation on that left leg from the actual main body itself.
Right. Now the gap between the two legs is
exactly what I'm talking about.
If you even look at the hips, they look very, very, very wide. The other thing too is you don't really see hair. You see what looks like it could be hair, but really on the edges, you don't see hair. You see this white, bright outline.
Exactly.
And that is indicative of an edge.
Yep. I hate to say it, but I think this is Walmart Squatch.
That could be. So here we are with the warm filter on it. And we're going to look at the dehazed version of it. Oh, I'm sorry. First, a negative view of it. And again, there is no. So, am I thinking this is AI, a derivative? Not at all. Not at all. Because you can actually see some of that terrain in front of the object. Right.
Right.
So we know from the picture they took of everybody standing in the field that this is not a completely, if this had been an AI generation, the only thing of the AI generation would have been of the Bigfoot itself, but that's very clear it's not.
Right.
And here's the dehazed version. So you got rid of some of those. Now, one of let me talk about a few of the, it's all about narrative. Hang on. So the video in the speaks for itself pretty much. And the figure in it has a very rigid appearance. The torso is essentially vertical, and the arms appear to be hang in a fixed position. Like that doesn't look like a walking. Like even humans, the hands are down by its side. The left leg and right leg are spread apart, but there is little suggestion of any dynamic motion, and that's going to be becoming very important in our summary of this as well. Now, yeah, go ahead.
If I may, Steve.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Look at where the supposed thighs would be. Okay. Look at the difference between the thighs. The right thigh starts mid chest.
Yeah, or at least like right at the diaphragm.
Yeah, like the mid thigh. That's like right at the diaphragm. Then the second one would be down in the just right above the scrotum area, if you will. And to picture a sorry radio edit. But to look at that there's in no way possible that something that is like that would be anywhere near capable of bipedal motion. It's impossible.
Well, it looks like, it almost looks like it's pigeon-toed.
Yeah.
Walking with the knocking knees.
Right.
Yeah, it just doesn't look anatomically correct.
No, not in any way, shape, or form.
Not in size, not in the way it's cut. If you look at the shoulders, you have one shoulder that's higher than the other one. Almost like the thing's like walking around like, But the kid never mentions that. He says it was running across the field, and then he says it was walking across the field, so we really don't know. But one thing we don't see in this picture is motion. There is no motion in this whatsoever. Now, We're talking low light conditions. If we look at the other film, it was around dusk, right? 6:30, 7 o'clock in March or April.
Yeah.
Not a very light time of year at that given time. So it's in low light conditions, and that would even increase the blurring on any type of motion. Mm-hmm. But you see this nice crisp and clear type of picture here. Now, let me also make some comments that there seems to be some anomalies that I noticed is the rigid square, like we've talked about this on the show before. Where do you actually see a right angle anywhere? And if you look at that foot on the left-hand side where it's supposedly coming down, you see a straight down line and a right angle in front of it.
Yep.
Right? And then in the back, you see some brush covering up what appears to be some sort of intrusion coming off the leg downward. And you see this bump on the leg going outward there, and it seems to be cut off at a very jagged angle as well. That's evidence of supports.
Yep.
This, my friends, is a cutout.
Yeah, it's a 2D Squatch.
And that's why we have the lines that are highlighted, because that shows the edge of thickness. It's a two-dimensional figure here. It's not a three-dimensional figure we're looking at.
Right. Right. They probably got one of these like at a festival, and what they did is they just repainted it or something.
Or they made it themselves.
Well, okay, so it's a Home Depot Squatch. Got it.
Yeah. I could have cut it out, painted it, because they both have a belief in Sasquatch, don't they?
And that's fantastic. I love the fact that they believe. That's fabulous. But come on. Yeah. Are you getting another report?
No.
Okay. Was it Landon?
Wait a minute. All right, let me check something real quick. Brian, entertain the crowd.
Okay, all right.
That's why I love my Squatch detectives out there. They always give me some tips on something.
Okay.
And I want to check on something real quick.
So take a close look at the face, guys. If anybody here has ever seen the $6 Million Man, okay, and you remember when he was fighting Sasquatch, look at that face. That face. If you recall the Sasquatch that he was fighting, it almost looks exactly like that face. Not only that, but if you take it looks like it's pointed in one direction. So if you take a look at the head itself, the head itself looks like it's twisted on or something. I mean, it's the way that they've done this. And then what's with the white spot going down the right side? I mean, did the fur fall off, or maybe he's having alopecia in that particular area? I don't know, but this is ridiculous. Uh-oh, Steve's quiet.
Yes, I am. I am working on something very interesting.
Okay.
There it is. I just need to find it on the computer. And let's do this. Why do they make this so difficult? All right. That's funny. Yeah.
Suspenders. That's awesome, Mike. Well played. Well played.
That's very interesting.
Lori, you're right. It's unbelievably real. It's actually, this is one of the, I can't believe it's not squatches. If you remember, I can't believe it's not butter. So
remember when Fabio did that commercial?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Before he actually got hit in the face with a goose. But yeah. This is the I can't believe it's not a squatch.
That is pretty funny. The way it's got sent. Yeah, I mean, it definitely does look very hinky and hokey when you get to the bare bones of it.
Yeah. And Southern, I was going to say Southern Sierra Bigfoot. I'm just going to throw this one up here real quick. So weary of dishonesty in Bigfoot. Yes. I'm so sick of the dishonesty that's out there. This is ridiculous. And to use a child to be dishonest. That's what ticks me off.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the footprint find. And I'll sum this in what I wrote here. The alleged footprint lacks sufficient morphological detail for identification and cannot be reliably classified as a primate track. Furthermore, the apparent dimensions of the impression are inconsistent with the estimated size of the photograph subject derived from scene reconstruction. As such, the ground impression does not corroborate the photographic evidence. A creature large enough in that size comparison, reconstruction should have left unmistakable physical evidence in a soft agricultural field. The track pressure alone should have been substantial, with clear displacement and a much larger impression. Mm-hmm. If something was that big, it would have been thousands of pounds, would have left definite impressions out.
The 14-year-old should have been able to lay in that footprint.
Almost.
Yeah. It's like,
I think you said it right. Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah. If it was like Mighty Joe Young or you've heard of.
So what we have in picture is basically shallow depression, poorly defined margins, no obvious heel, no distinct toe pattern, although you may see maybe what looks like toes in it, but and obviously no visible midfoot structure. And as you know, evidence, I would classify this as an indeterminate ground impression, not a footprint. And the interview transcript itself says they found some impressions, but that they were not definitive because of muddy conditions and deer activity, which is actually a fairly accurate description based on this image.
Yeah. I would agree. I would agree with that.
Which tends to lead me to think that maybe Dad wasn't involved at all. Because here's the amazing thing, folks, which I haven't told you, is that Father never makes an appearance in the video.
Right.
So he's hearing this stuff from the child and mother. He may like, they said, what?
Yeah.
They said, I heard something, you know. So the other witnesses that are secondary to this are not present in the film, and maybe that's something that Exposing the Strange will do in the future, get the other people on record. But in looking at this picture, no, it's not. It just is not a thing. And if the photograph figure scales to something biologically, it scales to something biologically impossible to Bigfoot. And this is the best ground evidence recovered, and the physical evidence does not support the narrative. A creature large enough to produce like I said, the creature large enough size comparison and reconstruction should have left unmistakable patterns.
Actually, the kid should have actually felt that he should be talking about, because if this thing was walking, if it's that size and it was walking, there would be massive vibrations in the ground.
But then again, the kid never ran up to where it was. It was the next day that... Now, the posture, the figure has a very rigid appearance. The torso essentially is vertical, and the arms appear to hang in a fixed position. The left leg and right leg are spread apart, but there is little suggestion of dynamic motion.
Yeah.
The narrative says it was walking across the field, yet the image itself does not carry much indication of locomotion. There is no obvious weight transfer, torso twist, arm swing, or asymmetry that would strongly suggest a moving biped. Stationary object photographed from a distance could easily be interpreted as walking if the witness only viewed it briefly. However, given the size of that, it would have to have been propped up there, and unless they were playing a practical joke on the kid.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible, too.
Now that I would believe. Playing a joke on your kid, saying, hey, son, go up there and check this out. He.
But again, we're talking a 14-year-old. We're not talking a 10-year-old.
Right.
The idea of a stationary prop, the enhanced crop, almost gives the impression that the arms and legs terminate at nearly the same level. Biomechanically, that is odd. Structurally, however, it would make perfect sense if the lower dark masses were simply the ends of hanging fabric or anchor points of some support frame, which I believe is what's going on here.
Right.
And
Lester Budd. I love it. Meth Squatch.
yeah.
That's fantastic. And then, hold on, I'm going to put this one up here. Lori's out there, teleported after walking on one foot. Yeah, that was a transporter malfunction if you look at that picture.
Now leaving for Ohio, portal number 3.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there is definitely... So what the analysis shows, let's take a look at the narrative and behavioral inconsistencies once again. Landon's account evolves regarding the photograph. In one telling, he states that he ducked behind the hill, hid, stood up, took the picture, and ran. He also zoomed in. Another, he simply indicates that he took the picture and fled, minimizing the intermediate actions. Janelle describes Brandon as crying uncontrollably and requiring approximately 45 minutes to calm down. While this may reflect genuine fear, the boy's account shows that he appears calm, strategic, and obtained a photo from a smartphone, including using the zoom function requiring several steps. I've talked about this before. You get your phone out, you got to turn it on, you got to sign in or swipe, then you got to open your camera app, then you got to sit there and do it, and then you're going to sit there and focus on it. Meanwhile, this thing is walking across the field. Right. And if it's that big, how quick do you think it's going to be?
Yeah.
It's going to boom, 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 gone.
Yeah, 4 steps and it's across the field.
Right,
There's no way you can get a picture of it.
The father reportedly instructed a 14-year-old boy to return alone near dusk to search for footprints after an encounter with what was allegedly a giant unknown biped. From a behavioral standpoint, this is inconsistent with normal parental risk assessment.
Yeah.
And the father, arguably the most important witness in the case, never directly testifies regarding what he saw or why he sent poor Landon back up into that area.
Yeah, I mean, how can you imagine being Landon right now? Your dad said, hey, you know what, go up there and check and see if there's any evidence of whatever this giant thing that you just saw that apparently
I thought I saw a bobcat out there. Why don't you go out there and take a look and see if you can find any bobcats or catches or any.
And if we lose you, we'll make another one. I mean, that just amazes me, though, to think that any father would do something like that after this child came in apparently was
now in our make believe world, it would be like, honey, got insurance on the boy.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we know this never happened the way it's.
No, good Lord, no. Good Lord, no.
And again, it is when people tell stories like this, they don't consider the psychological ramifications of what they're saying.
Exactly.
Because they're not in that place. If you were in that place, you were thinking completely different.
Yeah.
Now, it isn't entirely possible. Like I said, we can't necessarily judge that on that one statement alone. If we just had that lone statement, then we could say, well, maybe the father thought his kid was tough. I'll go up there and see what the hell's going on up there.
Right.
My boy's a strong boy. He can do it. But then you mix the other thing that he was uncontrollably crying for 45 minutes.
Exactly.
He was scared to death, right?
And now you want to send him back
and
up
then you have the boy's narrative, which he was being strategic. I saw it. I ducked down the hill, got my phone out. Okay, I'm going to get a picture of this. Boom. And then he runs back. That doesn't sound like a scared kid to me. That would be uncontrollably crying or for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
No. It's not consistent behavior. And that's just from my forensic interviewing background. All right, let's move on to the next. Scale reconstruction issues. Photogrammetric reconstruction using the original scene geometry produces a subject size that appears substantially larger than a normal human. If the reconstruction is accurate, the figures scales into an estimated range approaching 16 to 18 feet in height. Like I said, even cut it down to 14 or 15. Such dimensions are inconsistent with the biological model of Bigfoot proposed by most researchers and create significant biomechanical problems. Mm-hmm. And the alleged footprint evidence does not remotely correspond to an animal of that estimated size.
No.
So,
not only that, but the weight. If there's an animal of that size, let's say this. Let's give them the sake of the doubt here. Okay, you've got a 16 to 18 foot bipedal animal. That thing is probably going to be coming in at anywhere between 21 to 2,800 pounds, easily.
Yeah, sure.
So when that thing sets its foot down, it's going to put an impression in that, especially because they said that the ground was moist or the ground was damp. That thing would put at least a 2-inch impression into the ground easily.
Right.
And it would be clear as a freaking bell.
Yep. There would be matted down grasses, broken grass, broken hay, whatever's in that field would have been mashed into the ground pretty thoroughly because you're looking at something that's probably going to be 1,000 pounds, a half a ton walking across the field.
At least 1,000 pounds.
And mind you, a half a ton bipedally.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you have a 1,200-pound moose, right, it walks like a quadruped. So it has 4 legs to disperse its weight, not 2.
Right.
So mind you, when it makes its full step, it's putting the entire weight on that one step.
Exactly. And that impression is very, frankly, impressive. So, that's, I want to hope the best for the kid, but if this was his parents actually playing a practical joke on him, I get it. Ha ha, that's hysterical. But don't try to pass this off as anything that is really newsworthy or that's real or that deserves a lot of in-depth investigation.
But here's my issue. There is an error in that statement I made.
Okay.
Because Landon says it was moving.
Yeah.
And we know that can't be moving.
No, not at all.
So even when you throw out all the potentials.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? That doesn't make sense. It's like saying, well, maybe the father wasn't involved.
The father was holding up the cutout.
Somebody had to put that cutout there. The father would have had to have noticed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Would had to have noticed the Bigfoot investigator coming up to the door going, hey, I want to investigate this. Can I talk to you?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So I think there's some issues there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's unfortunate.
Now let's look at the structural features, suggesting a prop. Lower extremities exhibit abrupt angular terminations rather than natural anatomical contours. Both feet appear to terminate in similarly shaped dark masses suggestive of supports or anchors. And the silhouette itself appears unusually flat and uniform, lacking any obvious muscular or anatomical definition.
Correct.
So we don't see any of that wavy stuff. Like when we looked at that Poplar Bluff photo back in, Poplar Bluff, Missouri, back last year, we could clearly see there was definition in that photo. It wasn't anything that was a cutout.
Right.
Right. But this is just, there's no definition whatsoever. And finally, the lack of motion inconsistent with the narrative. Landon reports that the subject was actively crossing the field. Despite this, the photographed figure exhibits little to no apparent motion blur. At the reported distance, under low light conditions, a moving subject would be expected to display at least some evidence of motion degradation, which it does not. The absence of visible motion blur is more consistent with a stationary object than a large biped walking across an open field.
Exactly.
And there you have it.
So
now I'll take any questions. And a lot of people ask, and I'll say this. I'll say this. And a lot of people just signed off, realizing, okay, he gave us summation. But the reason why we do such an outstretched analysis of this, like a lot of people would say, oh, yeah, that's this, that's this, that's that. Well, there was a lot of people saying this was AI, and apparently, clearly it was not to me.
Not even close.
It looks like AI because it's artificial, but it's not made by artificial intelligence.
Right. Well,
And-
depending
And
on
the other thing, too, is we can all say, oh, it's fake because why? Well, it doesn't look real. Well, why? Well, we've just spelled it out for everybody.
Yeah.
And we've not only spelled it out by what's wrong with the photograph, we've spelled it out what's wrong with the footprint evidence, and we spell what's wrong with the story itself.
Exactly.
And when you have 3 across the board like that, that indicates one thing. This is hogwash.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to do that, because a lot of times when you go to prove things, you never get the absolute proof of anything. Like for example, the cutout. Do we expect? Are we going to send somebody down there to spy and see if we can find a cutout? Well, you're not going to get a spy on a farm like that.
Right.
They could have burned it up in a wood pile. It could be anywhere right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get the absolute proof to say, hey, this was a hoax. But you can look by a very large preponderance of the circumstantial evidence in this case that will clearly show that when weighted all together, what we're looking at is a hoax. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about investigation sometimes, is that it's not necessarily a piece of a lone piece or even 2 pieces of circumstantial evidence. But when you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of circumstantial evidence, then you get what you call a very weighted case. That these are far too many circumstances to be on the not guilty range.
Right. Right. Yeah. And again,
So in this case, when you look at the narrative, the picture, the footprints, and the psychology behind sending a 14-year-old boy on his lonesome at dusk to go look for prints where this, huge being was that supposedly scared him. You send him out to look for evidence. It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And again, what a parent of the year to send your child out after he came back in screaming uncontrollably for 45 minutes about a monster. Oh, hey, why don't you head back up there, Junior?
But mind you,
Yeah. No, what this is, though, is hopefully it's a teachable moment for the kid, because if the kid ever sees this or what have you.
It's not a teachable. It first has to be a teachable moment for the parents.
Well, yeah, okay. I'll say that.
Right? Because without the parents learning, the kid's not going to learn anything. He's like,
That's true. That's true. But it's just there's too much to say that this is a real situation. It's just not. And
right.
Unfortunately, this is another thing that muddies the actual research that's being done out there. And
I don't think it does.
You don't think so?
No, because you know what? We did our job here.
Yeah.
Right? We're just doing our job.
Right. But it's another fake. And that's what I'm saying, why it muddies it, because there's so many fakes out there right now. And unfortunately, you get some of these people that look at these and they're just like,
Hey, Tessa, if you're coming in late, you missed the whole hour of just about an hour of tearing this thing to shreds.
Do we have
you might want to catch the
Steve?
replay. No, we're not.
Tessa, you're making us start over again.
But
yeah, Bat Mom, it is fake. It's a fake story. It's a fake story. So, but the thing is, it just amazes me how many people do this, though. And again, just Steve, you've been at this like forever. I'm only like really 6 years into my journey here, but it's ridiculous how many people are doing this out there. And again, it's making people say, "See, it's all just fakes." And
here, we'll give Tessa a quick picture. How about that? Does that look like? Or even how about that? Does that look like a real Bigfoot? And we'll show the composite video again too, for kicks while we're sitting here talking about it. And
look at how big that thing is.
It's just. At first, I thought it may have been a balloon.
You know what? It could have been.
I don't think so, because it kind of.
Well, it looks like it could have been, but it's not. It's not a balloon.
Could it be? Well, you know what? Could it be a balloon that is anchored down at the feet?
No, that's gonna be a plywood.
That would be a 3-dimensional type of looking thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And this does not look 3-dimensional at all.
Right. Yeah, a balloon there would be some rounding to it, but no, this is a 2-dimensional plywood cutout.
Yeah, it's a static object. That's for sure.
Yeah. But like I said, when you look at where the actual hips of this thing are on both the left and the right, there's no way that could achieve bipedal motion. Actually, here I just noticed this. When you look at it straight on, it almost looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex running at you. If you've ever seen like in Jurassic Park or anything like that, the way that the T-Rex hips go, it looks like the T-Rex hips.
Could it be a T-Rex cutout that's been modified? Who knows?
Possibly. It looks like a blown up cardboard cutout from a wrestling event.
Well, let me tell you, little brothers, what you got to do is you got to go out there and you got to make sure you're doing your Bigfoot thing, because I'm telling you right now, brother, we're going to go crazy on this. Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something. When you get snap into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something, brother. What are you going to do when the pythons wrap around this Bigfoot?
Exactly.
Remember, say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
This could be George the Animal Steel, an homage to George the Animal Steel, the guy who used to eat the turnbuckles. That's from way back in the day, though, so I don't know if anybody remembers that one. You see a steel pot helmet on its head.
And, John, that would be a 15-foot deformed Sasquatch. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like I said, there would be sign everywhere if something 1,000 pounds went steamrolling.
It's just the more that I look at it, that there's absolutely no way that this could achieve any kind of true bipedal motion. And
so John, if you caught the whole thing, what's the name of the channel again? Exposed. I'm sorry.
Expose the truth or something like that.
Hang on. Exposing the Strange.
Yeah.
There's so many channels we work with. And I apologize.
Oh, this is strange, all right.
This is strange. So, did the kid mess up the original photo, screwing it up, or did dad take over thinking they could get rich? And no, the dad makes no appearance in this film at all. It's just the mother and the son.
Right.
And, according to Dave from Exposing the Strange 2023 at youtube.com, they apparently did an ELA test, and it showed no, and he had the original, because I talked to Dave today a little bit about it. And apparently they had the original, and the original was not, it was, there was no obvious things. And he put that up on the video too. The video, by the way, is in the link of the original video that Exposing the Strange did. And they kind of left it as an open question. They didn't go on to debunk it. They just took the story and he kind of ran it through an ELI test. Because again, a lot of people, and myself included, thought that perhaps this was an AI generation. But I started looking at the photo, and the first thing I usually look is I look at clarity of the feet in the grass, and there was feet behind the grass, indicative of that it was behind there, so we're good with that. No, again, if you mess around with the picture that way, I don't know how you would do that. You would have to basically you would have to crop the old one out or get rid of it, clone paint what's behind it, put the new one in and resize it, and you would still cause a layering in it. So that would still cause a big glitch on the error level analysis test. Anytime you take a picture and add a new layer to it, that would be a problem.
Right. Right. And this, I mean, okay, right. So maybe this is
like if you just can't take a picture and just blow up one subject in the picture. Yeah. Unless one, you do it by AI, or two, you do it by removing, by basically taking the background out of the subject and then keeping that one aside and getting the other one there, cloning out with where the real Bigfoot was, and then putting the other one in there and doing that. I know people want to give these folks a chance, but the story's baloney.
Right.
So
it actually looks like one of those Bigfoot, like a Bigfoot that you would have one of those 3-year-olds draw when they're trying to draw a car, and they draw that like giant vehicle. And if you've ever seen kids try to draw cars when they're like 3 years old, this is kind of what it would look like if it was a Bigfoot, because it's just, there's no way that this could possibly in any way, shape, or form not only be bipedal, but actually there's no way that it could even exist. There's no way in nature something like this could exist. There's just not. I mean,
Broker asked a question. I'm sorry if I missed yours. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat too. He said there are more inflatable Bigfoots for sale than I realized. Does anyone keep track of Bigfoot costumes and similar products to immediately recognize them? No, that would be impossible.
Right.
But what we can do is take this picture, right? And then we can run it in Google AI images, and we can run it, or not AI images, but we can run it in images, Google image search. And then we can also run it an AI image search for it too, to see if AI can find a matching one itself. So there's ways you can do that to find out, to see if that, and this one appears to be a custom job. And I can see why, because the legs just don't look right. It looks like it was cobbed out of something else for whatever reason.
Right.
Especially that one leg that's on the left, that it's actually the right leg of the Bigfoot, but it's on the left-hand side.
Right.
That son bitch looks like it was that may have come off a cow or something. It doesn't look like your standard foot at all. It looks like a hoof.
And the thing is, I imagine he's trying to say that he was looking straight at it, so that's why the foot is so wide or what have you. But again, take a look at the break on the actual length of the hip of that particular one. It's impossible. There's no way in nature something like that could happen. It's just not possible. And then again, on the right leg, the beginning of the hip is at mid chest. So,
well, Lester, it's good to see you. Lester's back. Lester Taylor, sorry he's been away for a couple of years. Good to see you again, brother. Back again. Hope all is well with you. And Westhoff, thank you. And Elder Ringer, 8816, have a hard time believing that a 15-foot creature can simply disappear unless it goes into a portal or other dimension. And that's if you're in the sci-fi world, because Bigfoots do not go off into portals in other dimensions. Obviously there is so many factors in this one that clearly indicate that what was photographed was not what was observed, and that's a huge issue.
And by the way, for which is finding trackway 4875. Dee
Oh,
Dee,
Bill,
you idiot.
Bill.
Dee Dee, you idiot. I'm a huge Dexter fan, so yeah, I'm right there with you, brother. This is one of Dexter's creations that went wrong. Absolutely.
Well, Jonathan asked, why would anyone try to fake the population with such a giant figure? Because they didn't expect us to be this thorough.
Right.
These people are not Bigfoot researchers. They don't know what we do. And in fact, the other guy, Dave over at Exposing the Strange, he did a comparison too, and it looks kind of big too. Bill says, I'm not grandpa. Not yet anyway.
See, that's why I wouldn't have brought this out. I mean, no shade to the guys over at Exploring the Strange, but I wouldn't have given this any credibility. There's just it just doesn't add up.
Well, again, they know, you don't necessarily know. You get there, you're excited. There is enough cognitive bias and a lot of excitement in the air for people a lot of times that when they go out in these investigations, some of that, oh, wow, we've actually got an interview with these people. Then you get there, you try to be nice to them, you try to get to put their video on YouTube so you have content, yada, yada, yada. And before you know it, they leave it as an open-end question mark. And that's fine. That's what they do if that's what they do. Or they end up believing it because these people lied to their face.
Right.
I'm in a profession where people lie to your face all the time.
Every day, yeah.
All the time. Not every day now. Now I'm doing insurance investigation, but I was doing the LP gig. People lie to you all the time. Oh, I've never been arrested. Oh, I've never been this. I would never do that.
Really?
Right. And I turn around and go, I remember my friend's one. I have nothing to do with this. I would never, Oh, no. Wait, I had the one shoplifter one time was a team, and the other one booked it. So we had somebody going after her. And the other shoplifters, I can't believe she did that to me. I would never leave her. And she didn't know I had her records in front of me. Oh, just like you left this person on that day. And she just looked at me and went,
whoops.
Yeah, you did the same friggin' thing a couple years ago. Don't.
Exactly. Exactly. Where is it? Hang on a second. Where exactly? Hold on. Let me just put this one up here real fast. Where exactly was the boy standing when he took the picture? And this is exactly what it was, my friend. We took a look at the elevation comparison, and it is absolutely way off.
Yeah, I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting into this, John.
Okay.
It is. Nothing is way off here. Look at the ground. Look at the ground.
Well, okay. So what I mean by way off,
yeah,
it just, I mean, their assertion. Yeah. Right. I'm saying the assertion of the people actually with the picture. They're saying, oh, well, it could be that there's a differentiation in the ground level. I'm like, no, there's not. That kind of saying something like that is way off. There is literally no difference in the actual stuff. There's none.
Right.
They line up exactly. So with them trying to say, well, he was rolling and when he took the picture or whatnot. I mean, just the way that they were saying it, it's like, no, you can't say that because everything lines up perfectly.
And then you have the differences with the story.
Right.
And nobody is on the same page with the story. Why would a father send his son out? Like I said, each of it by themselves would not necessarily point to it being deceptive. But when you have the sum of all, it is deceptive.
Yeah. Basically, this is just unfortunately another opportunity for people to get their 15 minutes of fame, and so they got it. Hooray! And hopefully they live fabulous lives now. But I mean, it's still, why do people do this? That's my question. Why do they do this when there is so much serious research out there, so many serious people out there actually doing good research, not only just on Bigfoot alone, but in cryptids in general? Why are these people doing this? It's ridiculous. If you use your powers for good, maybe we could get more answers.
So if that's the case, John, and you don't know that, John, because we haven't done that. They haven't done that. What we do is having a person standing in the same exact spot that the creature was. And when we do the scaling photograph, they're the same. And like I said, the only difference is that the first picture was taken a little bit shorter than the second picture, because I believe the size of the 14-year-old and the person that took the picture, where they were all standing. And you can tell. And maybe at very best, the person that took the picture of the second picture was actually standing a little bit further back, which may give that a foot or two difference, which is why I say it's like a 14-foot to an 18-foot range. It's more like probably 14, 15 feet, give or take.
Yeah.
But pointing a laser at somebody's chest from a camera lens is not going to prove a height on anything, because it all depends on distance. Right?
Why would you want to shoot someone
I can take a laser light and point it at somebody's chest 1,000 yards away. I can take it and point it at somebody 50 feet away. It does not mean that their height is different. That's the one that's lasers are great at telling distance, but they're not great at telling dimensions.
Right.
Such as vertical dimension. They're great at showing distance, not height.
And then you have to take into effect the curvature of the earth and everything else. I mean, that's, it's like when you're firing a round. When you're calling out to fire a round, you have to take into effect, the drop, and you have to take into effect the curvature of the earth, because if you don't take those into effect, you're going to miss. Right. So a laser is great for straight. That's fantastic. Right. But it does not have any way to take into any effect the curvature of the earth. And
even from that, you can't take away the odd proportions of the Bigfoot.
Correct.
The way it looks in natural, the reason why it looks two-dimensional. It looks like I understand perfectly what you're saying, but what you don't understand, Jonathan, is that my reconstruction is rock solid. I did that myself. It's not an AI generation. It's nothing like that. That has been done, and the way it's been done for the last 38 years, even beyond, in photo analysis, is you take something, you scale it to the same size. The ground is all the same size. So you may be thinking about maybe an angle. Maybe there is what they call an angular, but that would mean that the kid would be smart enough, because I have no doubt that the kid took the picture. No doubt at all.
Anyways.
Well, you can bring the horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can't make him see the point that the story's all bullshit. You can't make him drink.
And that's the thing.
That it's not anatomically correct when you look at it. And if you get a beef about the height, it's still not making sense, because you look at that in the field, you look at the regular picture in that picture, you can see that thing is huge.
That's the thing. I mean, when you take a look at how big that thing is, I mean, they had to have built that thing at least 15 feet. to try, because what I think is the reason they built it so
Well,
big.
let's just say, for example, it's 10 feet.
Okay.
That doesn't change the odd angles of that. That doesn't change is all this. Let's say that is 8 feet. That doesn't change why this leg seems to bend the opposite way of a knee would. Why this leg has a protrusion right here. You can't see what I'm doing. Where the look at the arrows. You see right angles, jagular cuts, straight edge cuts. You do not see that in bios. And where's the motion? Where's the motion that this kid said he saw and took a photograph of in the low light condition?
Exactly. And because look at either side of it. On either side, there should actually be motion waves. If that thing was moving, there would be a motion wave or a motion blur, if you will. And there is nothing. That thing is as stable as a rock.
Right.
And especially with all the white outlining on it. With all the white outlining, you can see that is absolutely a two-dimensional cutout type picture. You don't see any form of real hands on it whatsoever. There's no hands at all. And then again, take a look at the legs. It's like they didn't look from the front before they assembled this thing, because there's no way that could ever be anything that's real. Yeah, actually, right, Bat Mom.
No. Yeah, it's definitely not.
With the extra legs.
but if you look at the interview forensically, and I'm not even going to get into the body language, but because I don't feel but the body language was pretty atrocious. Had I been conducting that interview, I would be like,
yeah.
You don't see a lot of confidence in telling that story.
Well, the one thing with the little guy with Landon,
because even with the kid, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you see something, you're confident about saying it.
Right.
When you are younger, it gets telegraphed even worse. And this was so telegraphed, he was not confident about what he was saying.
No. He was looking up into the right corner and to the left corner and
looking down and looking
everywhere
around.
Except where he should have been, which is right at the interviewer.
Right.
So that, you could see right there, that was kind of like,
there's a lot of other things too. You see a lot of micro expressions. You see tightening of the jaw. You see things like that. You see swallows. And they're all indicative of he's trying to make this up on the fly a little bit, or trying to remember what the plan was.
Right. The moving from side to side also.
The mom was just telling stories.
Yeah.
And I didn't really read her body language all that much. I was more considered with the kid, and believe it or not, we begin our body language at a very young age.
Yes, we do.
That's why we know when we see a lot of stress lines in the brow, it's, or the eyebrows raised. I didn't take that cookie. Right. That's why a lot of times you see somebody saying, I really didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like the it's a kicking horse from the front. Could you pull the picture back up for real quick, Steve? Let's take a look at that. Hang on a second here. It's a kicking horse from the front. Because you can see the horse legs on the sides.
Let's go back to the original. It's a pretty big horse. Okay. It's a pretty big horse.
Yeah, that would have to be like a Tennessee Walker, so I don't think it's a horse.
I mean, a Clydesdale, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Clydesdale are about 12 feet tall, 14 feet tall, and some of them are pretty large.
But no, it's again, when you look at that, the biomechanics of it just don't work.
No. Possible, but again, the problem is the picture itself is very two-dimensional,
Yeah.
right? That's problem number one. Problem number two is the lack of blurring motion, meaning we're looking at a static subject,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if it's a kicking horse, there's going to be a lot of movement in there.
Yeah. The head is in the tail.
No. But forget the picture for now. Go with the story and look at the story flaws.
Yeah. The story.
I mean, if you look at the picture don't look right, period. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how tall it was. It doesn't matter, although that's part of it. It doesn't matter whether it's a kicking horse or a balloon or a plywood cutout put together with Scotch tape. It's not a Bigfoot.
No.
And the story behind it reflects a lot of inconsistencies.
Yeah.
So put that together.
It's bovine fecal matter.
That's right.
I'm trying to watch my language a little bit more. So, but I like this one though. It could be this. It could be a Kentucky squirrel.
Very true. At least, thank God, it's not an Adirondack barking spider. Those evil bastards that you can often pick up their scent, but you can never find their tracks.
True fact. True
You can
fact.
hear them, but you never see them.
Yeah.
Bastards.
They're typically found around Taco Bell. See, out
of abundance of caution, residents in the surrounding area are encouraged to remain aware of their surroundings, secure outdoor food sources, and report any additional sightings to the sheriff.
Right. Does the dollar store feel
Lester, that's mean. Just a dollar store.
Yeah, it's unfortunate when you see stuff like this, but it's
and they do, by the way, Lester. I know because I Googled it.
Okay. I was gonna say they sell scotch and tapes.
Well, they don't sell scotch in New York, unfortunately, not in dollar stores.
What? Oh.
No, we're not calling this legit. We're calling this a legit piece of poop.
Yeah. Bat Mom, this would be legit bovine fecal matter. Or guano. It's guano.
Somebody please get the funny farm wagon out here.
Yeah, right. That's funny. We found legit evidence. Bat Mom's on fire. That's fantastic. And yes, Lester, it is a dollar store Squatch. Without question. This is a dollar store Squatch. So
I just wonder where your evidence for that. Well, in my opinion, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Well, opinions are like a strategic part of the anatomy. Everyone's got one and it usually stinks, but I think it was coached by Todd Standing.
You never know.
That's great. Team Squatch. That's fabulous. Fugazi.
Give me that clap, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Let me rephrase that. We'll give you the clapping noise for that.
I was going to say, wait, you give him the clap? No. These guys are on fire tonight, man. They're on fire. This is some good stuff. This is good stuff.
Team Squatch.
That would be awesome. We got to see if we can buy a Team Squatch. Intercepted emails, close-up footage, 10 years. The governor won't. Really?
Oh. All right. Well, let's stay with the current topic here. We're not talking Dyer. We're not talking whoever that is. We're not talking about that. So appreciate it, though. Appreciate you being here. But
you.
Yes and no. He backed up versus hid behind a hill where it couldn't see him and he couldn't see it. And then we have another account where he snapped a quick picture, or he focused the zoom in on the creature and then took a picture.
See, that's my question. That is my question. Okay. You're 14 years old. You see something that is apparently terrifying you beyond comprehension because you're going to go run screaming into your house for 45 minutes screaming, I saw something. Do you really think that a 14-year-old would have the wherewithal to whip out his phone, hit the camera feature, and zoom in, and then go screaming and running to mom? I don't believe so.
Okay, so I put KH in timeout for now. MK Davis is about as reliable. Of course, he says it was real. He says everything is real. Anyway, moving on. I don't know where these trolls are coming from.
Okay. Wait a minute, hang on a second here.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Has anyone claimed that the 14-year-old Squatch is legit? Well, the parents are saying it's legit. Yeah. The parents are all saying that it's legit, that it's a real thing, that it actually happened, and this is how it happened, this is where it happened, et cetera, et cetera. So they're saying that it is, but from everything that Steve has gone through with his complete forensic investigation on this and in using the appropriate equipment, there is absolutely no way that is any form of real. It's just not, and it's unfortunate that this 14-year-old kid is getting involved with this, but that's what we got to deal with. We got parents that are doing this to kids, and that's unfortunate. We really, we shouldn't have that kind of stuff. But what we should have is parents getting their kids out there and actually helping them find out new information about what's in the woods, and helping them get out there and start learning, and helping them, get a deeper appreciation. Hey, Mick, I'm a Gen Xer as well. I'm a Gen Xer as well. I may look like a boomer, but I'm actually Gen X. So yes, we demand proof, but we also have enough evidence out there to form an excellent hypothesis of truth regarding Sasquatch. So there is that available to us. Now, as far as an actual body or anything like that goes, we don't have anything like that. But then again, we don't have bodies for a lot of things that we know exist. So that's why I say, the proof is out there, but we just need to keep looking through it. Steve, back to you. You all right, bud?
Yeah, I got a new beverage. Need something about my.
How many 2 liters do you go through?
I just had a little bit of iced tea, and I had.
Okay. I was like, holy crud.
Oh, no, John, if you're taking the forensic interviewing class, you would know that none of this fits. The kid says he was calm. The mother says he wasn't. That is not a convincing story there. Right? The father is absent. The father sends the kid out. Of course, he's scared, right? Scared to death, but sends him out to look for evidence. So,
And the other thing is, I've like I said, I used
flags
to work
all
with,
over the place.
Yeah, I used to work with. Oh, go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
And you said, the boy seems fearless. And in my opinion, he could have possibly kept his cool enough, but not according to his mom. According to his mom, he was crying hysterically for 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's not fearless.
That's not fearless.
He was
scared to death.
crying for 45 minutes because I worked with kids for quite a long time. And when I've seen some of these kids get scared, especially like from the 12 to 14, especially young boys, when they're scared, they're freaking scared. And they're not that whole fearless thing. Yeah, that's Hollywood that shows fearless kids like that. When these kids get scared, they get scared. And so
Finding the Trackway Bill is actually from Ohio as well. And he said, again, the bent leg, reverse leg, mother-daughter sighting may have been the inspiration.
Oh.
That's been the one most told locally.
Interesting.
There we go. And, again.
Batmom, I don't know that it would actually be delayed trauma. I don't believe that it would actually be delayed trauma because, again, when you have something like this that happens, typically the trauma is instantaneous. And I'm surprised the kid didn't drop his phone because when kids get scared
come on, folks. You guys know better than this. Here is this huge thing walking across the field. It's going to take the time for the kid to get his phone out, open the phone, swipe, unlock it, right? Get to the camera app, then pull it up and then zoom in and then take a picture. How long was this thing walking in the field for?
If it's 15 feet tall.
Come on, folks. You know better than this.
But yeah, my big thing is when I'm talking about the trauma.
Delayed trauma reaction. If you watch the video and this kid talks about it, he has no emotion whatsoever.
Right.
And I didn't want to get into his body language. But in telling this story, well, it was right there. And it was about this tall. And and blah, 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 blah. And just no emotion. There's an issue with that. 14-year-olds have if he saw something scary, I was scared. Eyes would have been bugging out. He would have relived the trauma.
Right. And in this interview, he did not in any way, shape, or form.
So he does not anywhere close to that. Or maybe, I didn't want to show the video because it involves a minor and they got permission to do it. I did not get the permission from the parents to show that video. So I am not going to even go down the YouTube rabbit hole of that.
No.
Well, I'm not yelling at you, Batmom. I'm just being emphatic here. People get confused when I...
Batmom, we love you. Big
heart.
heart.
You got a sandwich there? Oh, it's a heart. I'm sorry.
It's a heart. It's we love you. Actually, it doesn't look like a heart. It looks like something else, but I digress. Yeah, the parents are liars. Yeah. And unfortunately, they got their kid to participate in it. So yeah, again, when looking at the picture of that thing, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not Dr. Meldrum, okay? So I'm not that much of a huge person on bipedal biomechanics. Holy cow, I finally got that out. But there is no way in anything possible that could do anything to move in a bipedal fashion. It is absolutely impossible.
Right. Well, Batmom, there you go. Boom, boom, boom. And she says, when I start talking something about traumatic, I still start crying or start stuttering.
Exactly.
Or you start having goosebumps, jugular vein distension. This kid,
he looked at the camera like this, and he was
I saw it over
this.
here on the ridge, and it was huge.
Yeah.
And I took a quick picture of it after I.
He sounded like he was bored. He literally sounded like he was bored talking about it.
Yeah. I don't think this was his idea originally.
No. But then he got a little bit of the taste of, wow, look, people are interviewing me. But okay.
I don't know why you're asking that question, Wiz. Did I ever say you're not supposed to question me? I'm just saying, come on, folks, you know this stuff. This is stuff we should all be agreeing upon, a lot of this stuff, especially people that are in the forensic interviewing class. There should be a connection there. And when at the end of it, maybe you'll get, now I understand. And we haven't gotten to that point. But you'll see these are flags. When stories are not consistent, those are flags all over the place. They should be consistent. The truth does not mess up.
Right. There you go. Fight or flight.
Yep.
If the fight or flight mechanism kicked in on a 14-year-old, they will drop everything and run like hell.
Well, that's the thing. And thank you for bringing that up, Miss Anthropic American. That's a huge thing. In a lot of these hoax cases, we see a reversal of the flight or fight. The limbic system says run, or the limbic system says fight, right?
Right.
In all the hoaxes we've watched, we see this fight to sit there and get the picture, and then I'm going to run. Right? We've seen that with this one. We've seen that with the Mississippi skunk ape video. We have seen a very similar thing to the Bigfoot peeper incident, where a guy's taking video of it, his wife screams, and then he's going to go get his firearm, right? Right? After all that time, right?
Right.
I videoed it for 8 minutes, and my wife screams, so then I got my gun. No. Flight or fight.
Yeah.
And he runs to get his defensive weapon after 8 minutes.
Right.
Because his wife screams? I don't think so. See, and we see this strange reversal of the flight or fight consistently in all of these. Again, we have this Todd Standing video where, I'm surrounded by these things, and I was trying to get my batteries working on the cameras. Yep, there's a camera on him where the batteries are working fine. And I couldn't get pictures of him because I couldn't get the batteries, but he's got a camera on him. Take that flipping camera and go, there it is. Right? No.
Well,
and then he runs. You're very welcome. So then he runs. So, again, we see these flip-flops of the limbic system. And from a behavioral aspect, that is not what happens.
Right. Especially in kids. Kids, when they are scared, they run. That's genetic. Because it's when you're an adult, you can actually fight back that fight or flight. But when you're a kid, you are genetically predisposed to run.
Right. Well, that's the entire thing. I mean, think about active violence in schools.
Yeah.
When it's run, hide, fight. Fight
Correct.
is the last option, and that's the hardest option for a lot of people.
Correct. Mick, you're absolutely being a veteran myself. I can agree with that. It is completely different. And typically from what I have seen in children, when they are scared, they will run. They will not stand to try and fight. They will not try to do anything else, but they will just run. And that's fine. That's what they're supposed to do.
Right. But the limbic system is primordial.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Lizard brain.
Right? The limbic system, which is where our flight or fight response comes from, develops as soon as we are born.
Yep.
That's instinctual.
Yep.
It's not something that's learned or behavior is changed, because adults can change their behavior to fight more than flight.
Correct. Kids don't do that so much. In the rare occasion, it does happen. You will read about some stories where some kid all of a sudden, turns into Rambo or turns into, some kind of a
but
really...
that's generally for some learned behavior.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's one of the reasons why when this lady says that her kid came in screaming for 45 minutes, for him to actually put out the phone, zoom in, get a picture, and then run, doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form. But then again, when you look at the actual object in the picture, that is a slam dunk. I mean, Stevie Wonder could see that is a slam dunk fake Sasquatch. There's just looking at it, it's almost embarrassing. You want to almost tell them, come on, guys, you can do better than that. And it's just it's ridiculous. But people are people.
Exactly, Jen. That would be the Mississippi Skunk Gate video, which we eventually found out that video came from a failed television program put on by A&E called the Swamp Monsters or something like that. Or Beast of the Bayou. I'm sorry, Beast of the Bayou. No, I don't agree it's a horse. There's no motion on it. The analysis clearly shows there's no motion analysis. Mm-mm. It's a static thing. It's fixed.
So, Batman, we would have to say, nay, that is not a horse.
Oh, that's a bad horse joke.
You sorry, dude. I had to do it.
So a horse walks into a bar. Bartender looks at him and says, "Why so long in the face?"
Yeah, right.
I know, boo. Oh.
That's okay.
Well, you got a couple of horse jokes out of it.
Right.
Get in your chair. Go
Uh-oh.
ahead. He got down to get a drink. He comes back in and he's looking at me. Can I get in my chair? You're crazy.
Well, Lester, it depends on if they actually had the Home Depot coupons for that week. I mean, if they've got the Home Depot coupons, they could have done a lot better, but they may not have had those. So I agree with you.
Why would you have a cutout of a horse in the middle of a field that's only up for a couple of days? Unless it was up there for months and they just decided to take it down. And before I take it down, let's make it a Bigfoot. Hey, I think that it is exactly what it was. It was put up there for a internet prank.
Oh, yeah.
And it got done. And they got interviewed and they played along with it, which, to have somebody come out spending their own. I don't understand, Steve. You got to get another chair for
your puppy.
Oh, no. He's had the same chair for years. Oh, for the little boy. Yeah, he just, for whatever reason, he's been doing that everywhere now. He looks at me when he wants to get up on the couch. And he's always had free range of the couch. But now all of a sudden, he's like, let me ask. And he just looks at me.
Wow.
He looks at the couch, looks at me, looks at the couch. I'm like, go ahead.
He wants you to pick him up.
I think he does.
Yeah, he wants you to pick him up.
And, he's getting at the age. He's going to be 12 this year, so he might be not as confident in his jumping skills.
Thanks, Mick. I appreciate that. And yes, I do need more fireballs. Unfortunately, I'm just...
Oh, no, he gets very... you want to see him? He looks like a mess right now, but hang on.
Okay, let's see. Puppy.
Hang on, you all want to see the dog. All right, Come here, Watson Rufus. Come here. You want to get on TV?
Oh, we get to see the puppy.
No. Come here. Come here. We're going to get you on TV. Ah!
Oh.
Yes, he's very... I can't hear you because I haven't got my heads on, but he doesn't like being up here too much.
It's Chewbacca.
Wow. Oh, you hear that?
Yep.
What, you want to get down?
He's purring.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, that wins the internet, Steve. That wins the internet.
Did you hear him growl?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He does not like being held.
That was adorable.
Now he's sitting here looking at me like, okay, I know the show's going to end soon. I'm going to get something.
You pick me up, Daddy. Now I want treats. That's awesome.
Now he's sitting there with his paws crossed, looking at me like, when are you going to get me?
Right.
Right? Oh, now he's looking mad at me like he's judging me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he is totally judging you, Steve.
You said you would do that.
He is completely...
At least he's not giving me the side eye. Sometimes he'll give me the side look over at me like...
That's funny. Yes, he does look like an Ewok.
He does. Till he gets his hair cut, which is coming real soon because the nasty weather's coming. So I got the buzzers.
Uh-oh.
We'll give him a nice crew cut.
Oh.
But he's so soft and velvety.
You going to give him business in the front, party in the back?
Huh?
Business in the front, party in the back?
Oh, no. I get the business everywhere.
I was going to say, man, give him a mullet. Give him a mullet.
He doesn't mind being snipped. Like if I cut the hair on his eyes as it grows out around his eyes, and he'll sit there and he'll be really good about it. Let me do it, and then when he's done, it's like, oh, treat.
Yep.
But yeah. Actually, when I first got him, he looked more like Chewbacca.
Really?
Because, he actually looked truthfully, he looked more like an Ewok then because he was, his face there was a lot of black and brown in his face.
Gotcha.
And now he's just got a little bit of the black, but talking about make him look like a lion, right? Shave him all down except his head. But of course, that's what Shih Tzu means in Chinese is little lion. So, all right. So anyway, a quick reminder, folks. Again, great way to support the channel. And of course, don't forget tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, it's a great class, guys. If you haven't signed up for this, get in there and get this information, because it's a chance for you to actually have a literal master's class in forensic interviewing. And there's a big difference between just an interview for like a job or interviewing like friends than forensic interviewing, where you actually have to take the notes and you have to look in between the lines carefully to see where the truth lies. And Steve's a master at that. So if you haven't participated in one of these classes, you've got to get in there. Do I get paid now, Steve?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't really have to sign up. All you have to do is just go over to the members area. It's 99 cents to join for a month.
And it's worth every penny of it. It's worth every penny of it.
Well, now it is, because we're putting some really good working stuff on there.
Yeah.
But and again, thank you, Mike, for that wonderful comment you made earlier. Because that's what we do, is we scrutinize everything.
Right.
It's just the 99-cent membership, Batmom. And the nice thing is you can always go back
and watch the previous class.
And watch the other classes. And the first class we did was actually a public one. We did that on live on a Sunday night.
Which is cool as heck, man.
Yeah, we did the actual interview. Why is it? What's the matter with you now? He is giving me the 1,000-yard stare right now.
Uh-oh. Watch your shoes, Steve. Watch your shoes.
Nah, he's not a biter.
Okay.
Careful, Brian. Steve pays me in bagels, not money.
Dude, as long as they're Asiago bagels and I get salmon cream cheese, I'm good.
There you go.
I like me some schmear. Gotta get your schmear.
I could get a bagel in the schmear.
Yeah, my sugar, get your bagel, get your schmear.
I was all verklempt, but you never know. You should be so lucky, you bastards.
There you go, friends. So
is that velvet? That's just the funniest comment. So I am a Gen X throwback too, and Coming to America, Eddie Murphy playing the old Jewish guy in the barber shop.
That was one of the greatest. Oh my gosh.
But he kicked Rocky Marciano's ass. Rocky Marciano kicked his ass. What? You know how old Rocky Marciano was? He was 138 years old.
That was fantastic.
Joe Louis was? He was 138 years old.
Yeah.
But the funniest comment is when the king walked in and he's feeling the lion. Is that velvet? And then, of course, the joke at the end, which was at the end of the credits that everybody missed. Yes. So I said, waiter, try the soup. Is it too hot? Dad, try the soup. Is it too cold? Just try the goddamn soup. Okay, give me a spoon. Aha. Aha. Everybody just looks at him.
Right.
And the smart part of that movie is, if you ever realize that in every scene, when Arsenio Hall was playing the barber, he was eating.
Yes.
Always eating. Every single. Oh, thank you, Matt.
Hey,
Always
Matt
eating.
Mom.
Always eating something.
Thanks, Bat Mom.
Thank you. You'll enjoy the class. Make sure you catch up on that first class tonight if you have time. It's a doozy.
Yeah. And have a pen and pad. Do yourself a favor. Have a pad and pen or pencil ready and take the notes because they're worth it.
Ah, thank you, Mick.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, guys.
That's fantastic.
And whoop. Tessa, hit me up on Facebook. I'll send you a PDF copy of the book, basically, because everybody that's in the class gets a PDF copy of the book. So, which is basically the textbook for the class.
Right.
So we'll have a good time, and we always do.
Like
And
I said,
it's very weird because I'm not really. It's not like an open-ended conversation or even like an analysis review. It's just a discussion, and there isn't much input until towards the end when people ask questions. So,
right. But when you're done, you really have an idea of when you sit down with somebody, then you're like, okay, you know exactly how to talk with them. And believe it or not, it's not just for interviewing people for this. The book actually, the class will actually help you in other areas as well when you're actually sitting down and talking with people.
and not only that, but even in like business,
Yeah.
job interviews,
Yep.
or interviews if you're a ghost hunter or if you're another cryptid hunter. These are all, or even if you're a criminal investigator, these are all very pertinent types of things.
What about those who are low class for the book? You're not low class.
Nick, I told anybody that wants a book, just hit me up an email. But if you're on my Facebook, I'll send you one via Facebook. Tess, I think you are too, so I'll send you one over Facebook. I'll get that done tomorrow for the class.
Cool.
I'm calling it a day tonight. I worked several hours on this today and had to do my man chores, and then
Yeah. No,
caught a movie with the wife, and then
aw, what'd you see?
we watched Mercy, which is a movie with Chris Pratt,
Really?
where he is a detective on trial by this AI computer. The program
Yes.
is called Mercy.
I heard about that. How was that?
It's really good. It was really good. Very entertaining. Yes.
Yeah, because they turned all the law over to AI.
Well, they didn't turn all the law. They had certain classifications of crimes were turned over to AI for judgment.
Okay.
And it's like a snap trial. You get put in a chair, and you can put your defense on. The AI will help you make your defense, and the AI judge will
convict you and kill you.
convict you or find you innocent. So,
Yeah, I can't deal with that. I'm sorry. AI.
shoot me your email again, Nick, on my email, and I'll send one over to you via email. And so it was a pretty good movie. I actually also this weekend I binged watch Spider Noir.
Oh, you're kidding. How did you like that?
I liked it.
So I've read the comic books.
Right.
I've read all the comic books, and the way that they ended that series, I was like, no, it had nothing to do with the actual comic books. That's
Well,
what got me.
they didn't end the series in this one. They just ended the season.
Well, season, yeah. But I mean, the way that they ended, I was just like, oh no, come on, guys. I don't know if they're going to bring it back. So there has been talk about it, but I don't know if they're going to bring it back. We'll see. Because Sony actually owns the rights to Spider-Man,
Right.
Not
They're
Disney.
Right. So it's a totally different animal than your Disney produced
Yeah, well,
stuff for the last 5 years, 6 years since they got a hold of Marvel and the Star Wars stuff. For the most part, they've been putting out garbage.
yeah, they've destroyed it.
I thought the Mandalorian TV series was pretty good. I thought the Boba Fett wasn't bad, but then they were trying to turn it into a regular series, and they brought in all these cast of characters, and they never made it past season 1.
Right.
The Acolyte was horrible.
Oh, yeah. What they're trying to do is milk Star Wars for all they can because Disney A is short on cash and B they haven't had an original idea.
Well, they
since
lost
Walt
a
was
lot of
around.
money with the Acolyte, and the only thing that's really working for him is Andor, which is very slow in season 1, but season 2 picked up to a really good pace.
Yeah.
I kind of like Andor. I'm looking forward to their next season, which they are filming another season of that. So
good.
excited about that's about the only good thing they have going for them right now. The Mandalorian doesn't look like it's going to come back as a TV series, especially after it's The Mandalorian and Grogu failed miserably at the box office.
Steve?
Yes. No.
I'm not going to read it.
Yeah, no. We go through this every week, Mick. No.
Okay. That seemed like it was a dangerous comment, so I just thought I was like, "Yep, I'm just gonna."
That's
post
right,
it.
Kaiju Spider is Amazon Prime. It's not on Netflix. Kaiju Spider Noir is on Amazon Prime. It stars Nick Cage. I thought he did okay. I think he's a little 10 years older than he should have played the part, but
Right.
But still, he did an excellent performance.
Yeah, if you look at the actual comics, he is younger in the comics.
Right.
Not by much, but he is younger in the comics. Right. So that's why again I watched it and it was good, but I was very used to the actual comics because
I never even knew about the comics.
Oh yeah, Dark Horse Comics actually helped out with that.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big comic book fan, but I like the comic book movies.
Yeah,
most of them. There's some that I disliked horribly.
Right.
All right.
I was one of those goofy kids that read comic books as a kid. Yeah. So
it's that time.
Uh-oh.
So, what's the best Nicolas Cage movie? That is a good question.
60 seconds.
Let me think about that. I like National Treasure the best.
All right. Which one?
The original.
Okay, good.
I like the original the best.
Okay, good. I like Gone in 60 Seconds.
That was good, but I liked National Treasure. That was really smart.
Yeah, Ghost Rider.
Smart. That was okay. But not one that I go out of my way to see again. But
right.
But National Treasure, every once in a while I'll see it on. I would. Mike, the guest list is up. If you Google the second annual New York Bigfoot Conference, you will see the speakers. Doug Hychek. You caught me off guard. So I right now I have no idea. Other than I know Doug Hychek is going to be there and Darby Orcutt's going to be there. I believe Lauren Coleman is going to be speaking too as well, and I will be hosting the town hall on Friday night. And there's going to be a few others. I think. Like I said, I was caught off guard. But anyway, it's that time to get going. And The Rock was good too.
Yeah, I like The Rock.
That and Sean Connery. But anyway, I'll take the rapist for 600, Alex. Trebek. All right, folks. Thanks again, everybody. We love you. You're our greatest audience. We will catch you here Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will have a show on Wednesday this week, no matter what. But Brian won't be here, but I will. So everybody, have a great week. Brian, you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody. It's been a pleasure being here with everybody. And remember, get out there and check those books out and take the class, people. You're never too old to go back to school. Thank you, Batmom, for signing up for that.
That's right. Not only school, but look at me. Old school. All right, folks. We'll see you all Wednesday night. Love you guys. Peace.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member, and it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.